Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro Series. Today, we're diving into the role of an indirect tax analyst. Whether you're just starting your preparation or looking to refine your skills, we're here to help you shine in your next interview. Let's kick things off with a question that showcases your initiative. Can you share a time when you spotted an opportunity to improve a process in tax filing or compliance? What was the outcome? They're looking to see how you take initiative and improve efficiency in your role. To tackle this question effectively, consider these tips. Pick a precise example from your past experience. Emphasize your role in identifying the problem. Detail the improvement you suggested. Discuss how it was implemented and the results. Try to include quantifiable impacts like time or error reduction. Let's see an example of how you can frame your answer.
In a previous position, I noticed our monthly tax filings were often delayed due to manual data entry. I suggested we adopt an automated data extraction tool to streamline our process. Once implemented, we cut our filing time by 30% and reduced errors by 25%.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for indirect tax analyst. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Can you describe a challenging problem you faced in tax analysis and how you resolved it? This question is designed to assess your problem-solving skills and how you handle complex issues. Here are some strategies to help you answer this effectively. Consider a specific challenge related to tax analysis. Explain the steps you took to get to the root of the problem. Detail the solution you either implemented or proposed. Mention any tools or analytical methods you used. Reflect on the outcome and any lessons learned. Here's an example to guide you.
In my previous role, I found inconsistencies in our tax calculations. I gathered data from multiple periods to analyze the discrepancies and realized a recent software update had altered our calculation parameters. I suggested reverting to the previous settings while reassessing the update. This correction aligned our reports and avoided potential penalties, enhancing our accuracy.
Tell me about a situation where you had to explain a complicated tax regulation to colleagues who aren't experts. How did you make sure they understood? This question evaluates your communication skills, particularly your ability to simplify complex information. Consider the following pointers when answering. Identify a specific tax regulation you had to explain. Describe your audience's background and knowledge level. Explain the methods you used to simplify the regulation. Mention any tools or visuals you utilize to aid understanding. Conclude by explaining how you confirm their understanding. Here's a way you might answer.
While working on a project about VAT changes, I needed to explain the new compliance requirements to our marketing team, who had limited tax knowledge. I broke the information down into simpler terms and used a visual flowchart to illustrate the process. After my presentation, I held a Q&A session to address any remaining questions, ensuring they fully grasped the concepts.
Imagine a new tax regulation has been introduced affecting your company. How would you evaluate its impact and ensure compliance? This situational question tests your proactive approach to compliance and regulation changes. Here's how you can structure your response. Start by thoroughly researching the details of the new regulation. Perform a gap analysis to see how current practices stack up against the new requirements. Consult with stakeholders to gather insights on potential impacts. Develop an action plan with clear timelines and responsibilities. Monitor the implementation process and make adjustments as needed. Here's an example of how to craft your answer.
First, I would deeply research the new regulation to understand its implications. I'd carry out a gap analysis to identify areas where our practices need adjusting. Engaging with relevant departments, I'd gather insights on how the changes might affect their operations. From there, I'd develop a detailed action plan with specific responsibilities and deadlines to ensure compliance while minimizing disruption.
What would you do if you found a significant error in a tax filing right before the deadline? This question gauges your ability to handle last-minute challenges and ensure accurate, timely filings. To tackle this question, consider the following steps. Quickly assess the nature and impact of the error. Collect all necessary documentation and evidence related to the error. Communicate promptly with your team or manager about the issue. Prepare the corrected filing and make relevant adjustments. Submit the corrected documents before the deadline and follow up to confirm receipt. Here's an example of how to handle such a scenario.
Upon discovering a significant error just before a filing deadline, I would immediately evaluate the error's impact and necessary corrections. I'd gather all relevant documentation, inform my manager about the situation, and work on preparing the corrected filing. Once ready, I'd ensure submission before the deadline and follow up to confirm everything was received correctly.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.